Hi, this is Catherine Rosen with Board Game Geek. I'm sitting here with Roberto Di Maio from Ares Games, and he's here to talk about the new game, Odyssey, Wrath of Poseidon. So please tell me about the game.
Okay, this is a new game by Leo Colovini that we are publishing in our Eurogame line. It's a deduction game where 2 to 5 players play. One player plays as Poseidon, the god of the sea, and the other up to 4 players play as the navigators. The navigators want to reach the sacred island, but Poseidon doesn't want them to get there. So what can the sea god do? He can throw storms to prevent them from getting there. The key point is that Poseidon throws 1 storm every turn, and the storm also works as a timer because you have 11 storms, 2 for each of the ships, plus 3 big black storms that will affect all the ships.
Okay.
Every time that Poseidon throws a storm against one ship, he will move that ship 1 position away from its position on his board. The Poseidon board represents the real position of the ships, while the navigator's board represents their guess where the ship is, or their knowledge, but their best knowledge about where the ship is. So during the course of the game, the position of the ships on these 2 boards may differ more and more, but really only the position of the ships on the Poseidon board matters. This is just a guess from the navigators about where they are. After Poseidon throws the storm, then it's up to the navigators to move their ships. So they will tell Poseidon that they move their ship 1 step away in a certain direction. For example, okay, I move the red ship northeast. Okay, I'm moving here. Then Poseidon does the same, but moving the ship northeast from the real position where the ship is after the storm. Then he tells to the navigators where the ship is, what the ship sees. Okay, so in this case, the Poseidon player will say, okay, you are on a rocky island and you see nothing around you.
Because there's nothing adjacent to the area
Yes,
you're on,
exactly.
right?
And so in this case, the red player, okay, no, I'm off, I'm not really here, and the only place where he can actually be is here. So he can deduce
that
now
is
his
where
correct
he is.
position. Other movements would not be so lucky. For example, let's say the red player moved east instead. Okay. And so in this case, the Poseidon player will say, okay, you see 2 islands close to you. Now, 2 islands, okay, I could be here where I see 2 islands, but I could also be here where I see 2 islands. And I could also be here where I see 2 islands. So now the guess is less certain. And so in this way, you can get off the route. But actually, the game is mostly based on deduction. So the clues that the Poseidon gives to you as a navigator are based on what the ship sees, and using these clues, you are trying to keep the ship on the correct track. Then you have variants in various ways to make the deduction easier or harder. For example, you can put a lighthouse to help the navigators, or you can put a maelstrom where a ship can get stuck, or you can get a foggy island so that you don't see the type of island that you reached, or you can have sea monsters which both slow your ship a little bit like a storm does. So all these variants can make the game a little bit harder, a little bit easier for the navigators, and you can pick your mix of options so that you can make the game easier or harder for the navigators.
Great. So how long does the game take to play?
It takes 30 to 45 minutes.
30 to 45 minutes. And how many players?
Up to 5.
Up to 5. And at least 2, because you need 1 person
at least
to be
2,
the...
yes, definitely, yes.
Great, thank you so much. That looks
Thank
really
you.
interesting. That is Odyssey, Wrath of Poseidon from Ares Games.
Thank you.
Great.